We often spend time, so much time, identifying and studying the signs of an abuser. But in my opinion, in my personal and professional opinion and experience, we don't spend enough time identifying and studying the signs of an abused woman. And many times, oftentimes, more times than not, it's written all over her face, or the signs can be subtle, but many times it can be obvious in her body language and that she is actually screaming for help. So today I'll be sharing with you the telltale signs to look for so that you'll be better positioned to help an abused woman in need. And when she can't speak out for herself, maybe, just maybe, you can speak out on her behalf. So let's talk about it. Hey there, Queen. So glad you're here. Thanks for stopping by. Listen, whether you're new to me or if you're true to me, I appreciate you being here. Thanks for stopping by and checking out my channel and seeing what I'm up to these days. Listen, if you are a high achieving woman entrepreneur and you happen to be over 40, or you are a woman of color or a woman of the LGBT plus community, feeling squeezed between success and satisfaction, girl, you have found your sanctuary, okay? I am your new favorite coach and your biz bestie, Coach Katrina here, also known as Katrina Marie, also known as the Boss Chick Biz Coach and your fearless leader. I'm a holistic business coach and RN health and wellness educator, and I am here to resuscitate your life and your legacy. How, you might ask? Well, I do that by one of three ways. Number one, I help you do that by healing internally so that you can expedite your external success. Number two, I help you to exit a corporate career if in fact it is no longer serving you. And three, I teach you how to build an aligned and profitable online brand and business that is in alignment with your passion and purpose, but without sacrificing your soul and sanity or compromising your health and happiness. And so, if you are ready to design the life you dream of, desire, and deserve, and claim a life of peace, pleasure, power, and profits, then please do hit the subscribe button. There we go. All right, hit that subscribe button. And listen, what good is it to hit the subscribe button if you're not going to hit the notification bell? Why? Because you don't want to miss a single episode. So today I want to shed some more light on the darkness that lives beyond where our eyes can see, where our ears can hear, and where the pain can be felt. I'm talking about domestic violence. And so as a woman, as a mother, as a daughter, as a life partner, as once upon a time someone's wife, as a registered nurse and a mandated reporter, as a domestic abuse survivor, as someone who witnessed her mother, my mother, being abused growing up, by someone that I loved, that she loved, as someone who is a mental health advocate, someone who is a bullied child, was a bullied child, a bullied teen, a bullied adult, a rape victim. Also, I'm a child of God and I am a human being, a whole human being who actually cares. And as such, I am using my platform to amplify not only my voice, but the voice and the voices of the many, many, many women who are either not in a position to speak up for themselves or have spoken up for themselves, but they are not believed. That happens often, unfortunately. Or their situation only worsened because they did speak up, which unfortunately happens more often than not. Whatever the case may be, I stand in unity with those women because I know all too well and firsthand exactly what it feels like, what it actually truly feels like to not be seen and not be heard as an abused woman. I have also taken care of a lot of women who were my patients over the years as a nurse at the bedside. And unfortunately, I was a witness more times than I actually can count of the many, many women who were bullied, who were abused, who were really in a very difficult situation that they just couldn't walk away from without fearing for their life or the life of their children. So many of these women come from or have come from or did come from like a hostile or toxic work environment, in addition to living in a hostile and or toxic work environment, or excuse me, home environment. So one spilled into the other. So in other words, they were being double bullied and they couldn't get away from the danger that they were in. They couldn't, if they go to work, who can they tell? They're being bullied there. They don't trust anyone. And if they're at home, they certainly can't share that they're being bullied at work to the person who's bullying them at home. So there's just no escaping that abusive relationship that they're having on either side. Can you imagine that? Like literally not having an outlet or someone that you feel like you can trust or safely share information that you need to get out. And so I want to talk about those danger signs. I want to talk about what you can look for and should be looking for. Again, those signs can be subtle or they can be obvious, but maybe you don't know what to look for and therefore are missing the signs altogether. And it would be important for you to know, especially if you happen to be the only person who can actually help them. And you never know when you might run into a situation like this, or maybe you already have and didn't know what to do. So I'm going to shed some light on that today. So the first thing is, if the individual is acting differently all of a sudden, right? Now, only you would be able to judge this and make this determination if you really know this person. If you don't know the individual, right, as much, and you're not as close to her, then maybe it won't be as obvious to you. But if you do know them well, or, you know, if you've worked with them for a while, or if they're a close family member or a friend or someone that you know a bit better, I would say if they're acting differently in any kind of way that's outside of their norm, right? If they're acting in any way that's out of the ordinary, that might be a telltale sign of them being abused, depending on what it is that they're acting like. Are they extra moody, right? Are they isolative? Are they withdrawing? Are they not seemingly as much fun as they used to be? Are they being jumpier or seemingly more guarded than they typically are? If somebody is seeming paranoid, this woman, she seems paranoid. She's constantly looking over her shoulders. She's looking around. She's acting as if, you know, someone's following her, or there's always eyes on her, or, you know, that if she says too much, somebody might notice. And you know what I'm saying? Like if it's in any way seemingly like she is a paranoid person and like she is constantly on the lookout for, okay, who's watching me? Who's looking after me? Who's, you know, like just being kind of strange and weird and odd, considering this is not how she typically is. And she, again, she's jumpy, she's guarded, right? Like if you just were to hand her something, or you were to reach over to her, or you're using a lot of hand gestures and you notice she's doing this and she's tensing up and she's, you know, like seem like she seems like every little thing is like a problem, right? Or, you know, like, you know, you go to reach over her shoulder or hand her a drink or whatever, something that's just very normal. And all of a sudden she's just doing this number. That's definitely a sign. If she is having difficulty sleeping, or she's complaining of having nightmares, unexplained weird nightmares, depending on, and some of the nightmares can be pretty horrific. And if she's getting, I would say, less than 4 to 5 hours on a routine basis of sleep a night, or she seems very groggily in the day and very tired because she's not getting enough rest, or she alludes to anything at all about being not able to sleep, waking up in the middle of the night, having a lot on her mind, a lot of racing thoughts, or if she seems tangential in any way, those could be telltale signs that this woman is in trouble. And again, if she is withdrawing, isolating, she seems like she doesn't want to get involved in or participate in or partake in some of the fun that you guys are used to having. Like if you know this person is someone who loves a good party, she loves to be the center of attention. She's typically a social butterfly. She loves people. She's a giver. She's a helper. She's someone that's just warm and friendly and bubbly and upbeat and personable and all of these things. And then all of a sudden she seems like she's withdrawn, or she doesn't want to go out in public, or she doesn't want to engage in some of the activities you absolutely know she loves. That's a problem. Okay, that is a telltale sign that something's not right. Other things like having unexplained physical injuries, or like maybe you know this person loves to be like, she wears makeup, but maybe typically she wears a neutral tone or lighter coverage, or only when you guys are going out, headed out somewhere fun, or you're going to go out for a night on the town or somewhere nice and she likes to get all dolled up. If that's the case, but that's typically the only time you know her to really wear makeup, otherwise she might like to be free and natural and wear some natural makeup, that absolutely can be a sign that she is in danger. Okay, so that's something that you certainly want to look closely at and make sure that this woman is not in a situation that, you know, she needs to get out of and quickly. And when I say wearing makeup, I mean, if I didn't emphasize this enough, I mean heavy on the makeup. Like she piles it on the makeup. Maybe she even kind of does this number. You know, you've seen people kind of do that to cover up that black eye, right? Or if she, when she's talking to you, is kind of turning away like this and talking to you like this, you know, or she's doing this number, you know, she's constantly covering up and she's not really looking directly at you, and anything like that, that's a problem. If she's losing interest in the things she likes, if she is, again, being more moody, or, and when I say moody, I mean like she seems snappy, she seems maybe angrier, she seems depressed, she seems anxious, she seems like she's maybe developed some sort of OCD traits. And by that, I mean somebody who is doing like illogical, rigorous activities that she's repeating that you've noticed she's not done before, but it's obvious that she's doing now. You know, if she's doing anything that's like, it seems like she's trying to constantly take control over a situation, in any environment, you know, wherever you are. Maybe she feels, maybe you sense that she is taking control over whatever that situation might be. And she's typically not somebody who's always so defensive or so on guard or so argumentative or so moody, having mood swings, that sort of thing. That certainly can be a telltale sign. Something else might be that she's engaging in harmful behaviors. So maybe you notice that she's drinking more than usual. Maybe you notice that she's actually self-harming. Maybe you've noticed that she has some slits on her wrist, or she's wearing long sleeves all the time and it's the middle of the summer. Is that because she has, you know, slit herself up? She's a cutter? Or is that because she has, you know, bruises on her in this area or in this area? Because oftentimes the abusers, as cowardly as they are, they will always find ways to put a scratch or some sort of mark or some sort of bruise or cut or whatever it is, the evidence, in other words, they'll hide it. They'll put it in an inconspicuous place where it's not so obvious. So you wouldn't notice it if this person is wearing, you know, like long sleeves. She's not wearing short sleeves. Now, if this is a person, now this is not out of the norm because obviously it's like a fall or winter month, then that's really not going to be so obvious. But if it's, you know, a very hot desert day, you know, or if you live in a place that is very hot and humid all the time, and this person is wearing sweaters and turtlenecks and scarves and things to cover up and long sleeves, that is definitely a sign. Now, these are not all-inclusive, right? This is not an all-inclusive list, but it is a great start, and they are absolutely signs that although not alone, each of these individual signs that I just listed, that these signs alone don't necessarily mean that this person has been abused or is being abused. However, it is a really, really, really good indicator that something more is going on and that it is a cause for pause. You know what I'm saying? And you've got to dig deeper. You've got to dig deeper because you never know what position this woman is in. And even though sometimes it may just be you and her, and you think, well, if something was going on, surely she would have told me. I mean, it was just me and her. You'd be surprised how fearful women who are in this predicament are. If they think all around them, there's somebody watching, right? That the abuser has people who has eyes on them all the time. And they're scared because of the threat that they receive from the individual who say, if you say something to somebody, if you go tell somebody, if you even hint to somebody what's going on up in here behind these closed doors, go ahead and see what happens. And so when that happens and they've already been abused for God knows how long, they're not going to just be ready to just openly share what the situation is, because they might be worried about themselves, of course, but their family, especially if they have children involved, and that really makes it difficult. If the abuser threatened that they're going to do something to their family member or their friend or somebody at work, or they're going to come up to their workplace or whatever, and they know this person's behavior, they know the level of violence that this person can be, they know what a monster this individual is. If they know all of that already, they're not going to chance or risk telling you what they rightfully know they should, because they are afraid. So I just need you to know, I need you to know that, because I need you to be the one to say, I'm not feeling right about this. I don't know what it is that's going on, but I know this ain't right. I know something's up, and I'm going to dig deeper. So if you do suspect someone is being abused, I am urging you, please, I am urging you, do them a favor and report it to civil authorities. Okay, you've got to report the abuse. Suspected abuse, nonetheless, you've got to report it. You may be the only person this woman can depend on. And then I want you to actually get her the help she needs by providing her with the resources that she needs. Find help, get her in touch with somebody who can help her. Obviously, don't make it obvious. Even if you have to take her out to dinner or lunch or whatever, somewhere in a public place, but in a private corner, you know what I'm saying? And as you're laughing and kikiing it up and acting as if you're talking about, because, you never know if there are eyes on, but as you're talking about the situation, you can do it in a way that makes her feel safe and comfortable, that if somebody were watching the two of you, it just seems like you're having a casual conversation, but the whole time you're smiling and laughing and, girl, okay, be letting them know, I'm going to get you help, and be serious about that and do it immediately. Okay. That might include medical help. It can include help by church leaders, right? And it also can include, like I said, civil authorities, professional counselors, but somebody's got to get involved. I too can help. If you're listening to this and you know somebody who is being abused, or if you are the woman who is being abused, I can help you. And I need you to find a way to reach out to me. I don't care if you have to go to a library, if you have to do it at your job, in private, incognito, however you've got to find a way, go to somewhere, somebody, someday, soon, right? So that you can find a way to reach out to the people who are here in the community, ready and available and accessible to you, to give you the help and the resources you need to get the help for yourself. And if there are children involved, especially. So I don't want you to hesitate to reach out to me. And I also want you to know that if you are staying in a relationship that is abusive because you are financially dependent on this individual, I have not been in that situation myself, but I do know women who are. And I'm not judging, okay? I am not judging. I don't know your circumstances or how you got to where you are, but what I do know is I can help, and I don't want you to hesitate to reach out so that I can help you be in a better position, stronger position to get in a financial place, stability, security, independence, and work your way towards financial freedom so you never find yourself in this position ever again. Because abuse, domestic violence, bullying is real, so real, and it touches the lives of so many of us, and it doesn't discriminate. Doesn't matter how we look, our skin tone, our skin color, our hair type, our educational background, what street we grew up on, our socioeconomic status. None of that matters. Doesn't matter how much money we have, how little money we have, what our sexual orientation is. It doesn't matter. It can happen to you, just like it happened to me, and it can happen to somebody that you know, care about, and love. Please save this video, share this video out to others who need to hear this message, because you never, ever know, whether they outright say it or not, who is actually in need of the help, whether you think they do need it or not. So be their savior by saving this video, sharing it. Let's get this message in front of as many women who need to hear this message today, because it is urgent, it is critical, and you just might be saving a life. Thank you so much for listening, for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss a single episode. As always, and until next time, I am wholeheartedly in this journey with you.